Hi, this is Quinn, and welcome back to Quintech. Well, thanks for coming back on my latest journey, and in this journey I will be playing some Duck Hunt. This is my neighbor's Nintendo Part 4. So, in this video I'll be playing the game Duck Hunt, which is a light gun game. Pew! Pew, pew, pew! 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 And my neighbor told me he bought this system in an auction a few years ago. And I think he said he paid about $150 for it, which was a good price because it came with like 7 games plus the control deck, which is what they call the console, and two controllers plus the zapper. And listen to that spring action. So I think this was the second release of the zapper. The first release, it had this lighter gray little cover, but this orange part was a dark gray. So it looked more like a real gun, I guess. And then in the mid-80s, a couple of kids got shot, and they started making all gun-looking products. At least, like, with cap guns, they put, like, an orange little thing on the end. And I guess with things that went with game systems, they made it practically the whole thing orange so that cops wouldn't confuse a toy gun with a real gun and accidentally shoot some unarmed child. So that's a thing. So anyway, so in this video I'll be playing some Duck Hunt, which was part of this multi-cart, which is Super Mario Brothers and the original and Duck Hunt. And Duck Hunt came out in 1984, I believe, with the initial Japanese release of the Nintendo Entertainment System, which it debuted in Japan in 84 and then came out in the States in 85, and I think maybe in Europe in 85 as well. But here in the States, 85 was the year. So I'll be playing some Duck Hunt, and I'll be using the zapper. I also wanted to mention that the prices for all this vintage equipment or retro equipment has gotten ridiculous. This system originally came out, I'm pretty sure this is where it came from, was called the Nintendo Action Set. And it came with the control deck, which is the console, the old school console. Of course, it also came with the RF hook up to your TV. Came with the power block that you plugged into the wall to give it power. Came with 2 controllers, 2 original NES controllers, and this zapper. And that came out in 1988. And I did a little bit of research online about pricing. I think the original Nintendo Action Set retailed for around $199, like $200. I think. I could be wrong. Anyway, so I looked on current pricing on eBay, and I just did a cursory glance. I didn't delve in and like try to find out how much stuff is really going for, but I did see a few prices. The Nintendo Action set, just the packaging, just the box with the styrofoam inside, without the console or any of the peripherals, just the box itself, ranged from like $70 all the way up to like $300. It was crazy. I'm like, what? And then to get the whole full set with all the hardware and the peripherals in the box, that went anywhere from like $350 all the way up to like $1,000. I was like, really? That's how much this stuff costs nowadays? So I was a little surprised. But anyway, so I'm playing this duck hunt game in this video. I will eventually have my neighbor come over, and he's going to play the Super Mario Brothers, because like I said in my last video, he still remembers like all the secrets and like where to go and everything's. And if I played it, you'd be like, oh, what, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. He's never played this guy. He's an idiot. You should have jumped there, and you should have done this and that and the other. And so if I get my neighbor to play it, he'll still remember all this stuff, and he hasn't played it since like the mid-90s. So you got to give him props once that video comes out. But anyway, so I hope you are enjoying this series. I hope you like this video. Okay, also about this video, I'm still using the same software I used in my last video, OBS. I don't know what happened. I know in the last video, my buddy Adam was like, oh, the second half of your video, it was kind of hard to watch because it was a little choppy. And so I went on Google and I researched it a little bit, and I was doing 60 frames per second capture, and it said lower it down to 30 frames per second. So I did that, and it recorded pretty decently. All the audio is fine, but down here in the little lower corner, my face, my lips don't match all my talking. All the talking sounds fine, but something happened. I don't know. I got to do a little bit more digging. But I spent 45 minutes doing this recording, and in one of my previous videos, the one with the corpse killers for the Sega Saturn, I re-recorded that like 2 or 3 times, and that's just a lot of wasted time. I just want to get these videos out, so I'm just going to keep what I got. The main screen on the video of the Nintendo it recorded a lot better. Every once in a while it'll glitch out, and you can see this little bright rectangle of when I'm shooting the gun. You can see how the bright rectangle, that's I guess how this light gun works with the CRT. When you pull the trigger, this bright rectangle on the screen pops out, and that's how it registers that you're shooting the gun. It's some kind of complicated electronics. I don't exactly understand how it works, but so the second part of the video, I won't say it's unwatchable, but parts of it are a little choppy, especially if you're looking down at this little screen at the bottom where I am. My mouth movements may not match what I'm saying, but you'll be able to hear me just fine. So, so that's what I'm doing in this video. Thanks for coming along. I appreciate you. Thanks for coming back to my channel, Quintech Retro. And without further ado, let's move along with my latest video. Alright. Take care. Hi, this is Quinn, and welcome back to Quintech. So this is My Neighbor's NES Volume 4, and in this video, I will be covering Duck Hunt. And this is the game. This was a multi-cart. It comes with Super Mario Brothers, the original Super Mario Brothers, plus Duck Hunt. Okay, so Super Mario Brothers, if you don't know what that is, then you're at the wrong channel. But Duck Hunt was a light gun game that came out, I think it came out around the same time as the original Nintendo in 1985. But I'm pretty sure my neighbor, he bought this at an auction, but I'm pretty sure it was originally released as the Nintendo Action Set, which came with this dual cartridge, plus 2 controllers, the control deck, which is what they called the actual console, and this orange zapper. Okay? So I tried to look up online how much it costs. I think maybe it was around $200 when it was originally released back in 1988 is when the action set was released. But I've seen just for the original box without any of the hardware, I've seen it for $70, $69.99 on eBay, all the way up to $150. That's just for the box, just for the original box, not for any of the hardware. And I've seen the entire set anywhere from $400 to $1,000. It may even go higher than that. I don't know. It's crazy how much this stuff costs nowadays. It's ridiculous. But anyway, I'm about to play some Duck Hunt, so I hope you enjoy this. Duck Hunt was a fun game. Let me pop it in here real quick so you can see what's going on here. So like I say, it's a multi-cart, so you got to start out, you got to use your Nintendo controller to decide which game to play. And let me pop in my little earbud so I can hear what's going on. I guess sound isn't technically required to play the game, but it's helpful. So I can decide whether I want to play Super Mario Brothers, which I'm going to let my friend, my neighbor, play, because he remembers all the secrets, and I don't really know this game that well. But I'm going to play Duck Hunt, because Duck Hunt, it's a light gun game. It's pretty simple. So I'm going to start that. And you have 3 different options of playing. You can play Game A, 1 duck, and you have to put this away as soon as you start the game up, because now you control everything with the orange zapper. They originally had a gray zapper. The very first zapper was gray, and that came out in 1985, I guess. But this one came out with the Nintendo Action Set in 1988, 3 years later. And it came with this dual cartridge that has the 2 games on it. So you can play Game A with 1 duck, Game B with 2 ducks, or game C, clay shooting, or clay pigeons, whatever you want to call it. So anyway, upon initial boot, the top score is 12,000 points. I might be able to beat that because I have a 13-inch television and I'm only like 2 feet from it, so I might be able to top that. I don't know. We'll see. But oh, this even says copyright 1984. So this probably came out with the initial release in Japan in 1984. So in on the controls on this, if you're not pointing at the screen, if you're pointing away from the screen and you click the trigger, it chooses the different options, right? You only have those 3 options: game A, B, or C. So I'm going to choose game B just because it's kind of unfair that I'm only 2 feet away from the screen and it's a very small screen. So I'm going to give myself the most challenge that I can by doing 2 ducks. So now I just have to point it at the CRT and that starts the game. So here we go. And you got your little dog there and he jumps into the grass and look, he finds the ducks and brings them back to you. So I think I can get all the way up to like round like 8 or 10 before I miss. They start to get a little bit fast as the levels progress. They get a little faster. Sometimes, and you only have 3 shots. You have 3 shots per round. You have 2 ducks. So look, I already have 10,000 points. 12,000 was the high score, so I'm pretty sure I'm going to beat the high score. I don't know if it lets you put your initials in at the end. I mean, as soon as you turn the console off, you lose your high score anyway, but and I know the colors aren't the greatest on this composite capture, but it's the best I can do with the equipment I have. I'm on a low budget. I got this cheap Chinese capture card, so I already have 20,000 points. So I've already beat the top score, which was 12,000 points. So now I have 40,500. I've already practically quadrupled the original high score. And this is so simple. I mean, I'm like, technically, I'm about 1 foot away from this 13-inch screen. If this earphone cord wasn't so short, I would try to step back a little bit to give myself a little bit more of a challenge. But also, the closer I am to the phone or the camera, the better the audio is for my recording. I still haven't missed a single duck. I haven't had to use all 3 shots. You get 3 shots, 2 ducks. Sometimes you miss one. Oh! As soon as I said it, look what happened. I missed, but I still got both ducks. Oh! I'm getting a little bit too, what's the word? My chest is puffed out. I'm getting a little bit too, arrogant. And, of course, with arrogance comes deflation and failure. So, that was my own fault for being too haughty-taughty, thinking I was so great. So, I've already... Yeah, ever since I said... And I'm only on round 5. But I only missed 1 duck for the whole round. I'm on round 6. So now I'm going to pay more attention. So I probably won't miss as much. But as you can see, the ducks are getting faster and faster. They don't stay on the screen as long. You have a shorter amount of time to target them and take them out. And like I said, you only have 3 bullets, 2 ducks. If you don't hit them if you miss one, that means you only have 1 chance to get each. And if you miss 2, then you're only going to get 1 at the very best. So there goes Rover. Rover jumping over the grass. Ooh, that one got out of the screen before I had a chance to shoot it. See, I told you, it keeps getting faster. So you really got to pay attention. Maybe I'm talking too much. Maybe I need to pay more attention. Ooh, I barely got him at the very top of the screen. That was a close one. But then I hit both of those, like, immediately. As long as you're paying attention. I'm talking too much. I'm trying to do this video, and I'm on round 8. I will eventually lose. I think the highest I've gotten in my previous plays was like round 15 or something. And that's when I finally lost the game. But I'm going to try to do as well as that one he just zipped off the side of the screen. That was cray-cray. How dare him? Which one is the mallard? I think the mallard has the green neck. None of these have green necks. And the audio's not... I mean, this is the NES, a very early game for the NES. It's not the greatest sound of all time, but... Ooh. Darn it! It's getting a little bit hectic. I'm at round 9. They're getting faster and faster. They fly off the screen much quicker than they did. See, I could only get the 1. So I gotta be... And I've got the gun practically right up to the screen of the TV, so... I have to focus if I want to do better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you get... And they keep getting faster each round. You get 5 rounds of 2 ducks per round. So you gotta pay attention. Shoot both ducks. Dang, that one just flew off the screen. I didn't have... Darn. See, I'm getting worse. So I'm eventually gonna lose the game. But some rounds I do better than others. So I'm round 12. I didn't get it perfect, but I still got both ducks. Again, it took me 3 shots to hit 2 ducks, but darn, and one of them flew off the screen, so I missed a duck. Like I say, it gets faster and faster and harder. I mean, that's how a game should be. It should progress and get more difficult as you get to a higher level. There's nothing wrong with that, and I'm still having fun. Even though I missed a duck here and there, I'm still having fun. That one almost got away, but I got him right at the last second. And I can still hit. I can still hit both ducks. It wasn't a perfect. That one was. got all the ducks on round 13, but a couple of them took me 3 shots instead of... Oh, I got a perfect. A couple of them took me 3 shots instead of 2. A true perfect would be no wasted shots. I wasted a shot. It says perfect. You get the $15,000 or 15,000 point bonus, but so I missed 2 ducks, or I had to use 2 extra shots, but they're still going to give me a perfect because I got all of the ducks. I'm going to get the 15,000 bonus, but it really wasn't perfect because I had to waste... Darn it! Like I said, they're getting faster and faster and faster. Here I'm at round 15. Eventually I am going to lose, but it's pretty easy to do it when I'm this close to the screen, so... And I think that dog has a name, but I don't know what his name is. I'm just going to call him Rover. He probably has a different name. Nintendo probably named him. He probably named him some Japanese name. And then Nintendo of America probably named him some American name like Rover. Round 16. I will eventually lose. Trust me, I can't keep this up forever. They're getting faster and faster. And each round has 5 rounds of 2 with 3 shots. So... Oh, but I have a higher perfect. I get 20,000 instead of 15,000 bonus. Okay. Well, I'm pretty sure I beat that original high score by about 300,000. Because I think it was, what was it, 20,000? I think was the original high score. So if you never turn your system off, I guess you could put your initials in, and everyone would know that you were the supreme winner. But then you'd have to leave your system on forever and possibly burn it out from all the heat and whatever. I think this is the furthest I've gotten, because I'm actually kind of paying attention, even though I'm talking to you right now. Oh, I almost missed that second duck, but I got him. I hope you're enjoying watching this, and thanks again for coming to Quintech Retro. And this is NES Duck Hunt from the NES action set, which came with 2 controllers, the control deck, and this light gun. And of course the power cord and the game. The cartridge that had 2 games, Super Mario Brothers, the original, and this game, Duck Hunt. I will eventually lose. I'm talking too much. I'm getting sidetracked. The more I talk to you, the more I miss. Oh, game over. Okay, so game ended. But I had 419,400. So it doesn't even let me put in my initials. But the original top score was 20,000. So I got like 400,000 more than the original top score. So I hope you enjoyed watching me play this game. Maybe that's the last level. Maybe that's why the game was over. I don't know. Or maybe you miss so many ducks and then the game ends. But I'm thinking you only get up to level 18 and that's the last level. I think that was level 18. I'll have to go back and look at the footage. But maybe it's level 20. Maybe 20 is the last level. That would make more sense if it went up to 20. But you get up there, you get up to that level, and then the game is over. So if you're playing with your family or your friends, you can't hog. You don't have an excuse to hog the system all night. The game is over. Now you pass Zapper on to the next player and let them have a go, because that's rude. It's rude to just hog the system all night. So you get up to level 20. Oh, 12,000. It wasn't even 20. Top score was 12,000. And I just cleared it. I had 419,000. So I schooled the top score. I didn't know just shooting the gun in the air. Oh, for each. I see. But when you go back to 2 ducks, that's my old top score, 419,400. So beat that, Jack. If I wasn't talking to the screen, I probably would have had a much better score. I probably would have had 500,000. And I would have had a perfect score. I wouldn't have wasted a single bullet. Every duck would have been shot down with 1 bullet. And maybe I would have had 550,000. I don't know. I don't know what the top score is. The actual top score can actually be if you hit every duck. But anyway, thanks for coming along on this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun playing this game, and I'll have a lot of fun playing this game later, until I give it back to my neighbor, and he's not stingy. Even if I gave it back to him, he probably would never play it, or he might play it once in a very blue moon, which is what I did with all this old game systems before I started my channel. The channel made me bring out all my old consoles and computers and start playing with them again. So I'm glad I started this channel. I'm glad I'm enjoying all this stuff that just was sitting collecting dust for years and years and years, and now I can actually enjoy it. So again, thank you for coming along. I hope you're enjoying my journey. This is a journey. Every time I do a video, it's a journey. And this journey was me shooting a bunch of ducks. And I did play this game as a child. Well, I guess yeah. Well, I grew up in the 80s, the 70s and 80s, and I had a lot of friends that had an NES, and some of them had this game. A lot of them had Super Mario Brothers. I played them a few times, but I never owned one, so I'm not super versed in all the Nintendo stuff. So that's why I'm going to have my neighbor that I am borrowing this system from do the Super Mario Brothers portion of the gameplay. Alright, well, again, thanks for coming along, and you have a great night, and take care.